You know that feeling on a video call when someone's mouth is moving but the sound is just a little bit off? Or maybe you're in an online game and you experience that infuriating delay right at the worst possible moment. Well, that frustrating gap, that little digital hiccup, that's exactly what we're going to demystify today. And, oh, this one might hit a little too close to home for some of us. You're watching the final moments of a huge game. The tension is through the roof, and then you hear your neighbors erupt in celebration a full 10 seconds before you see the winning play. That spoiler is a perfect real-world example of what we're talking about. It's more than a glitch, it's a stolen moment. So what is this digital gremlin that spoils big games and makes our online chats feel so awkward? What is actually happening in that split second between an event happening somewhere in the world and you actually seeing it on your screen?
Well, this culprit has a name: latency. You probably know it by its more infamous nickname, lag. To put it simply, latency is just a measurement of delay. It's the time it takes for data to make the journey from its source, say a camera at a stadium, all the way to its destination, which is your screen.
So here's our game plan. We're going to look at just how big this problem is, decode what latency really means, uncover what causes it, check out how we can speed things up, and finally explore why this one technical term has such a huge impact on our lives.
All right, first up, let's talk about scale. This lag you're feeling isn't just in your head, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger challenge every single day. The reason why is pretty simple: the absolutely massive amount of data we are all constantly pushing around the internet.
Get ready for this number. According to Forbes, data capacity has exploded by an incredible 5,000% in just the last 10 years. We are now dealing with 59 trillion gigabytes of information. When you're trying to move that much stuff around the planet instantly, you're going to need some seriously powerful systems to avoid one giant digital traffic jam.
Okay, so we know lag is a delay, but here's the thing: not all delays are created equal. What might be perfectly acceptable for one thing can be a total deal breaker for another. So let's break down the different levels of latency, from whole seconds all the way down to tiny, imperceptible milliseconds.
For most of the things we do online, the gold standard, the thing everyone is chasing, is low latency. This basically means a network has been fine-tuned to handle a massive amount of data with as little delay as possible. It's really the secret sauce that makes any real-time experience feel smooth and natural.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how our tolerance for delay changes depending on what we're doing. Look at the top, a delay of up to 18 seconds for live sports. Yeah, we're used to it, it's fine. But can you imagine an 18-second delay on a video call? It would be impossible. For a conversation to feel real, you need to be way down in that ultra-low zone, under 300 milliseconds. That's the huge difference between broadcasting and interacting.
So, if low latency is our hero, then what are the villains? What are the things that are actually causing these delays in the first place? Let's meet the culprits. They're slowing our data down and creating that lag we all hate. You can think of it like this. Low bandwidth is like trying to shove a river through a tiny garden hose. There's just not enough space. Then there's physical distance. Data still has to obey the laws of physics, and a signal traveling from London to Sydney is going to take time. Bigger files are just like heavier boxes. They take more effort to move. And finally, you can have slow encoders that create a bottleneck before the data has even started its trip.
Okay, we've met the bad guys. But don't worry, there are heroes in this story too. Fortunately, we have some incredible technologies and strategies that are in a constant battle to shrink that delay and make our digital world faster and more responsive.
So how do we fight back? Well, it's a full-on attack from multiple angles. It starts with the basics, like using fiber optic cables that literally send data as pulses of light. Then we make our encoders super efficient, so they process video signals in an instant. We also use smart protocols like WebRTC, which is designed to let browsers talk directly to each other, cutting out any middlemen. And of course, all of this is powered by huge cloud infrastructures that help manage all this data as efficiently as possible.
We've dug into the technical stuff, but let's bring this all back home, because this isn't just about faster downloads or smoother streams. This is about how latency truly shapes our online interactions, our work, and even our trust. In more and more parts of our lives, every single millisecond really does count.
Just look at online gaming. If you hit a button to jump, you expect your character to jump now. A delay of even a fraction of a second is the difference between winning and losing. If a game feels laggy, players will just leave. They'll find another one that works. And think about a virtual classroom. A seamless connection is absolutely critical. That little lag between a teacher's question and a student's answer can completely break the flow of a discussion, create confusion, and just make the whole learning experience feel clunky and ineffective.
Now, what about telehealth? When you're talking to a doctor about something important, you need that connection to be crystal clear and immediate. Any lag, any break in the video can really damage a patient's trust and comfort. It completely undermines the whole point of telehealth, which is to make healthcare easier.
And in the world of remote work, oh, we have all been there. That super awkward moment on a video call where two people start talking at the same time because of a delay. It's not just annoying, it actually slows down decisions, it gets in the way of collaboration, and it hurts productivity.
And this is where things get really wild. In the world of high-frequency trading, companies will spend millions, literally millions of dollars, just to shave off a few microseconds of latency. Why? Because getting market data a fraction of a second before anyone else can lead to huge financial gains. It's an incredible example of how time, literally, is money.
So the bottom line is this. The difference between high latency and low latency is the difference between frustration and flow. On one side, you've got annoyed users, people tuning out, and lost opportunities. And on the other, you have smooth, seamless experiences that lead to better communication and real engagement. It's the difference between technology getting in your way and technology feeling completely invisible.
Our demand for instant, real-time connection is only getting stronger. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As we keep pushing the limits of technology, what happens when what we want is faster than what's even physically possible?